Happy Love Stream. I'm so happy to be here with you guys today. We've got one big question that came out last week, special request to talk about hiring and building a team. And I love my team so much. And so I'm excited to share what I've done to get here. I did not always feel super clear about how to do this. So I'm going to share what I figured out. And the other piece that wanted to come in as we begin is the underlying framework that I've used all week with clients. This just dropped in, and it's the right image for everybody. So I want to share it with you guys. If you're here feeling good, having fun, just drop me a little emoji. Let me know that you're here. Say hi. And ride with me as we dive deep today. The image that I want to share is the image that I really hold in my mind when I think about the movie Life of Pi. Hi, Erica. Hi, Molly. Hi, Lar. Beautiful. Welcome. So Life of Pi, if you haven't read it or seen the movie, the image that I want you to have from the movie is simply that of a young boy who has escaped a treacherous situation, is on a life raft in the middle of the ocean, and eventually gets to land. So I'm using this as an archetype, not as anything literal, okay? So, and I'm bringing this, just trust me, I'm connecting this to team. Hi, Chloe, welcome, welcome. Again, if you are here, let me know that you're here. Say hi. What are you excited about learning today? We all have trauma in our past. All of us. It is a traumatic thing to grow up, even with the best family, even with the most amazing education and all the privilege. Everyone has trauma. And so I'm just kind of lumping that all in the past. The trauma is the thing that we all escaped from. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Anu. Welcome, welcome. So just be with me in that. And again, if you've seen Life of Pi, you can kind of play with the metaphor even more. But just see, there was some treacherous, dangerous, life-threatening situation, and you escaped. And the thing that helped you escape was this life raft. It was not really meant for anything except to help you escape. That's what it was designed for. Hi, Tamar. Hi, Gabriel. Hear me. It was designed to help you escape. It was designed to help you cut yourself off from the trauma of your past and get you somewhere new. Both. The life raft, by definition, is designed to help you get away from something that's not good for you and deliver you to a new destination. That second part is often where we get lost. So we've all had the trauma. We have all gotten a life raft to escape the trauma. The life raft is our programs, our roles, our limited beliefs. It is our protection. It is our stories about ourselves. It's our relationship to money. It's how free we feel in our dynamic with faith and God. And then the land that we're all going toward is our destiny. That's what we're here for. That's why we were born. We were born to get to this new land, to build a life there, to walk on solid ground. We were not born to live on the life raft. None of us were born to live on the life raft. I don't even want to say we were born for the trauma, but of course, it's like the trauma gets us to the life raft, which gets us to the new land. Like there is a kind of rite of passage here that we can create a value around that's positive, but I'm not even trying to do that. Like release your need to make this positive or negative and just try on the idea that this is simply true. People come to me because they can see land and they're like, I fucking want that shit. I want that money. I want that impact. I want that freedom. I want that love. I want that integration of my whole self. I want that full expression of who I am. I want that brilliant, fully realized lifestyle. So they hire me for a little program or a big program. They hire me to help them figure out how to live on shore. They hire me to help them get out of their life rafts. And the challenge of our work always could be put under the umbrella of the struggle to release the life raft. Hi, Christian. Thank you, Dharma Shakti. I agree. It's a good analogy. That's why I'm sharing it, because it's important. We get so comfortable in our life raft, as we should. Like, thank God. Because the life raft, whatever it saved us from, this is so much better. This is so much better. Thank God for the life raft. Okay, we're not here to throw the life raft under the bus. We're here to see the life raft for what it is and let it deliver us. Don't just let your life raft get you off your trauma, the location, the origin of your trauma. Don't just let yourself be rescued from that. Let yourself be delivered to where you actually want to go. If you've seen Life of Pi, he spends quite a long time on that life raft. It becomes a kind of home, despite its treacheries. There's a tiger on it and everything. It becomes a safe haven. Again, thank God. Thank God for these safe havens. How do we honor them and release them? How do we honor the programs, the stories, the limitations that we have created in order to save ourselves, in order to protect ourselves, defend ourselves, carry ourselves off, move ourselves from the trauma so we can heal? How do we honor that and release it at the same time? This is our work. Hi, Sarah. Welcome. So why am I bringing this up today when we're talking about hiring? Because we all have material around our life rafts that makes our hiring process problematic and dysfunctional. And just like everything. Why? Why is that? Because hiring a team, working with a team successfully, requires that you know how to receive. And generally speaking, our life rafts, like I'm super generalizing here, but generally speaking, the trauma happened when we were super open. We knew how to receive and we took in too much. We didn't have enough boundaries. Y'all feel me? You know what I'm talking about? It's like we were like infants and we got abused, or we were these little love hearts and we went to school and got rejected, didn't get the grade, didn't get included, got, last place in something, whatever. Little things and big things create these traumas. And then we shut down. Shutting down is a defense mechanism. It's a healthy thing, temporarily. So we get on the life raft and we're like, okay, I'm going to do this on my own. I'm going to take care of myself. We get strong that way. We learn a lot in that process. How to fend for ourselves, how to protect ourselves, how to set boundaries up for ourselves. And oftentimes it's, I'm calling them dysfunctional, but it's just like they're meant to be temporary. A life raft is meant to be temporary. No one leaves a burning ship and gets on a life raft forever. They get on the life raft to escape the burning ship and get to shore. So hiring a team demands that you get to shore. You got to get there. If you are busy operating from fight or flight, which is an appropriate response on a life raft with a tiger, you're not going to have the appropriate operational mindset when you bring other people in to support you and collaborate. You will fight them or flee them. Are y'all feeling what I'm saying? This is making sense. So in my business, I would say that the biggest challenge for me is that I like things done a certain way. And partly it's perfectionism, and partly it's like I want to say an egotism. Like it's not just that I want it done at this very high level. I do. I want it done excellently, but I also want it to feel like me, to feel like I did it. And how do I help someone else do that? So yes, great. Okay, good. Instagram's picking up what I'm putting down. Good. So how did I come up with that? There was trauma there. There was something that happened in my childhood that had me feel misunderstood. And so, then I got controlling about making sure that I owned my message so that it didn't keep happening, that I didn't keep feeling misunderstood. Because feeling misunderstood had me feeling incredibly disconnected. And then that was a form of, that hit on my old trauma wound of feeling abandoned and alone. So the irony of that, by the way, is hilarious, right? Like, I'm afraid, my trauma is being afraid of being abandoned and alone. So then I create situations where I will continue to experience either being alone and never bringing anyone in to support me, or creating dysfunctional containers that end up having me feel abandoned anyway. So, I want to also acknowledge that relationships are nuanced, complex. Inevitably, there's going to be conflict. And when you're working with groups, that's just exponentially complex. So I think that part of it is just understanding that too, so you don't make that wrong. It's not like you have like a conflict with someone on your team, that means that you're doing something wrong. No, you're having conflict with someone on your team because you're in a relationship. What relationship isn't going to have conflict? But if you had big trauma in your childhood that has you avoiding conflict on your life raft, you're going to resist getting on land where conflict could happen again. There's so much about logistics of hiring and building a team. And what I'm feeling into in this moment is that we're just meant to talk about that next time. Like, I really want to stay with this mindset piece, because I think that like, if you guys can really chew on that and take that part in, that will have more impact and set you up to actually implement the logistical, practical, material aspects. And we can talk about that next time. So I want you to think right now, like, let this be simple. Let the narrative of this metaphor for you be simple. What is your trauma? Like in 1, 2, 3 words. For most of us, it has to do with abandonment, has to do with being left alone, has to do with being specifically abandoned by the people that are meant to love us and support us. And you can play with it. Like wherever you land is great. You can always say, is there something underneath that? So Dharma Shakti just mentioned not enoughness. Is there something underneath that? You can just ask. Lar just wrote, I always feel that people I work with take my energy away. My trauma is about my life energy being difficult to handle. It's interesting. Alarm, just because those feel like two things. So interesting. The fear of betrayal and abandonment. I think that's underneath the fear of being too much, right? Like, why do you fear being too much? Because you're afraid that you'll be left, rejected, abandoned by those that love you. So let this be simple. And if you're like, I don't feel super clear, you can just like try on the abandonment thing, because it's super common. It's just most people find that connected. So then when you're on your raft, what is your strategy for protecting yourself from the wound of your trauma? What do you do to avoid re-inflicting that trauma on yourself over and over and over again? So if it's abandonment, then you either are a loner, so you can't be abandoned, or you cling to people so they'll never leave you. And you choose people that have the same wound so they'll never leave you. Really loyal people or something like that. Again, I'm doing the caricature version of this. This is very personal, very deep work, and it's worth all the specificity of your heart and life experience. For the purpose of this, I'm just giving you some very general examples so you can feel into it. If multiple people are feeling this, not feeling good enough, I want you to go underneath that. Like, where does that come from? What's the story? How did it happen that you got the idea? Oh yeah, beautiful, Chris. You leave before getting left. Peace. Right? This shows up so much in romantic relationships. So if you're struggling to figure out what this is, look to your love relationships and you'll find it. Then, like, honor. Okay, this trauma happened to me. It's real. It's real. I've built my whole life has been about moving through that trauma, healing that trauma, letting myself grow beyond that trauma. And I've done that by isolating myself. I've done that by not feeling good enough, which just try on Junebug if that's actually like, that might be the life raft, is not feeling good enough. I've done that by leaving before getting left. I've done that by being defensive. I've done that by hiding, not making enough money, not putting myself out there. Okay. Then let yourself look to where you're headed. What do you actually want? What do you actually want to experience in your life? What do you actually want to feel? And you can reference these past things. I want to feel like I belong. I want to feel like I can be my whole self without shutting it down even a little bit. I want to feel like I can thrive. I can ask for what I want and I can have it. Right? Whatever is clear to you, let it be clear. And let yourself see, these are 3 different phases. This is why I love this image so much, because it's not just subconscious sabotage and everything else. It's like the subconscious came up with the strategies it came up with to build the life raft for you. Something happened to get you on that life raft. You honor the truth of that. And just don't know that you don't have to stay there. You don't have to stay in the trauma. You don't have to stay on the life raft. And I want to be really clear. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a trauma expert. That's not why I'm bringing this up. I'm bringing this up because I work with entrepreneurs who consistently struggle to let go of their life raft. And I think it's important in order to actually live on land in this metaphor, right? In order to build sustainable, thriving, expansive living in alignment with your purpose. In order to do that, you have to let go of the life raft. And in order to let go of the life raft, you have to be willing to honor, thank it. Like, yeah, you fucking got me away. You rescued me and you delivered me. And I'm going to let you deliver me. I'm going to let you deliver me to this new territory. I'm going to let myself thrive. I'm going to let myself rest. I'm going to let myself build a sustainable income that serves a new economy on this planet. I'm going to rest in acceptance of myself, and I'm going to assume that everyone who's close to me in my life is going to do the same. Thanks, Emily Rose. I'm glad it's resonating. I feel the same way. This is gifted to me. So I'm super excited to share it with you guys. Please feel free to use it. Watch Life of Pi. Immerse yourself in the metaphor. This is important. Some of you will forgive. Some of you won't. I'm not here to tell you what to do about that. None of what I'm talking about really actually addresses the original trauma. That's like, maybe that's a useful thing. It's just acknowledging there was some. There was some, and you built a life raft, or you wouldn't be here. You would not be alive. You would not be listening to me. There's a life raft that you built, multiple. And there's land that you are here to get onto, or you wouldn't be listening to me. No one would be listening to me if there was not land for you to choose that demanded that you release your life raft. And in my experience, this is not a one and done thing. It's like we do this in different areas. So the metaphor, Hylan, the metaphor is an image to come back to over and over again. It's not just one time you do this and then it's done. It's like anytime you're ready to grow, you will experience resistance, and you can use this metaphor again to see what is my life raft now, and how can I honor this life raft because it got me here, and use that honoring of the sacred job that this has done so that I can release it and move on and let myself transition into this new state of existence, which will feel uncomfortable. If you've been on a life raft for months, years, out on the open ocean, putting your feet on dry land is going to feel crazy, super weird, very unfamiliar. I shared this metaphor with many clients this week, as I mentioned at the beginning. When I asked them, what does land look like? What does it feel like? What do you want to do? If you release the life raft, what do you want to do? And one of my clients said, I want to float in the water. This is so sweet. And it was a real blind spot to her. Like, do you want to get on land? You can stay in the water, but you're definitely a human being. You're built for earth. You're built for solid rock underneath your feet. Do you want that? Oh yeah, I can have that. Oh, right. Okay. So let yourself in this moment just continue to look at, what does it mean to you to release your life raft in this moment, at this time, and step onto land, to be delivered and to build a new life? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Rihanna, this metaphor puts me in touch with so much relief of being out of the boat on secure land, free to live unattached. I think that's true for all of us. That's why this metaphor came to me, because it's confusing for people when they're like, why can't I get off this motherfucking life raft? Like, isn't it going to be awesome over there? Why can't I get off of it? It's like, because the life raft saved you. Because the life raft matters. Because the life raft needs acknowledgement. Hi, Kata. Chris, I love your perspective. You're helping people on the other end, right? So why don't we choose relief? Why don't we choose wealth? Why don't we choose ease? Why don't we choose everything that we want? Because we are still afraid at some level, could be this little one is the one, but at some level we're afraid, we're petrified of going back to the trauma. We don't want to feel that again. And many people would rather live the rest of their lives on that life raft than take the risk, not realizing that it's different land. The lifeboat doesn't take you back to your home of origin. It doesn't take you back to that place. Let's bring it into form using hiring as the context. And then again, I will share everything I can share about the little intricacies of this next week. But I want you to stay with your energetic understanding of what I'm talking about. Where are you operating from a life raft when it comes to your team? And what would it look like to get your feet on dry land with your team? This is relevant whether you have no one on your team except you, or if you have one person assisting you or collaborating with you. And it's relevant if you've already got a huge team, 10, 20 people, doesn't matter. This is relevant for everyone. And I'll be honest, this is relevant whether you have your own business or not. This is really relevant for everybody. Where do you resist the support that's here for you? Where do you try to do it yourself? Where do you get controlling? Where do you get judgmental? Where do you accept less than what is actually at the level of excellence that you need? Where do you micromanage? Where do you go into scarcity and feel like you can't afford it or you're not worth it? Who are you to have a team of people supporting you and your vision? What is the flavor? What is the nature of your personal resistance when it comes to team? Whatever that is, super useful. That's your life raft. So you write it down. I'm afraid my team will do it wrong. I'm afraid I won't be able to pay them. I'm afraid I won't be able to create the result that I want in the way that I want. I'm afraid that Tamara, it's so funny. You're the second person who's brought that book up, The Drama of the Gifted Child. I haven't read it. I will. It's a powerful mindset shift to look at all that resistance, to look at all that material and see it as your life raft. Like, all right, that's what I've been doing up until now. And it's good. It's gotten me here. Thank goodness for all those controlling, micromanaging, dysfunctional patterns. When I say, it's like, I don't even want to call them dysfunctional. They are compared to walking on land. Living on a life raft is dysfunctional. That's not operating at the level of functionality that you're capable of. But it's not because a life raft is dysfunctional. The life raft is doing a beautiful job of what it's designed to do. So you make the container, like, look at it. This is what I do around team. This is how I protect myself when it comes to team and hiring and firing and all that stuff. And here's what I want it to look like. Here's the truth of what's next for me. And then you honor the life raft, and you get your ass on land. Both. You can build a shrine to that freaking life raft. You can honor it every day, but you're not going to keep living on it. It's not what it's for. Make sense? So I've been asking the question, and I want to just pose it to you guys as a structure for reflection. These weekly love streams are places for you guys to go deep and study and pull out your pen and paper and take notes and reread those notes and go back to them, and then bring your work and questions and clarity to the next time we meet. It's free. I'm not out there chasing you to hold you accountable, but I want to invite you into taking that much from this experience, investing your own time and energy in that way to really make this matter to you. Because if you're here, you're spending your time and energy being here, that matters. You could be listening to so many people right now, musicians, podcasts, audiobooks. You could be doing so many other things, but you chose to be here. So what are you going to do with it? And that little microcosm, that decision to really make the most out of this experience, whatever that means to you, that's the same as the decision that you're making every single day of your life. Because you did not have to come here. You did not have to come to planet Earth. You did not have to come now. You did not have to be here now. But you are. While politics are polarizing us and shit is hitting the fan, you are here now. Why? What are you going to do? You guys are amazing. Next week, this is so good. I'm just going to throw up a couple of things. Thank you, Life Raft. Thank you, parts of me that came up with ways to get away and survive. We're in a new place. That's right. The rest of this comment says, I'm going to get a crew now for this next life, and you can retire. Thank you for calling us all ashore. You're a fucking flare of greatness. Yes. Yes. Welcome, Chris. So happy to have you here. You are so welcome. Beautiful, 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 beautiful work. So somebody wrote, oh, this one. Chris wrote, I want it to look like my friends all working together, but hiring strangers is scary. It's real talk right there. So that is more what we're going to talk about next time. Let's go deeper here. So in the next week, I want you guys to do the reflection on this. What were your big insights in this conversation? Let it percolate. What were your favorite moments? What are the questions that you're holding? And you might even have some next steps. So feel free to share those with me on any platform. I'm reading all the comments to these lives, so let me know what comes up, or just send a direct message. And next week, we'll take that work and go deeper. And of course, there will be new people, and that's fine. We'll take them, everybody from where they are. But if you are here live right now or watching this replay, I want you to really sink your teeth in. Get what you came here for. Sending you guys so much love. Share this with anybody that you think would benefit. And know that I'm with you, cheering you on. We're all in this together. We're all on these life rafts, finding land together. And we're doing it for the good of humanity. We're doing it for the good of the world. We're doing it for a reason it matters. So trust yourself. I love you guys.